What is up, everybody? Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this week's edition of Podcast Name Deferred. I'm your host, Seven. Erika and Craig should be along shortly. There we go. What's up, Craig? How you doing, buddy?
Good evening.
Man, I am so glad you're here because we actually get to talk about your Giants for a change. I think it's gonna be a great show. We're gonna talk about the Giants, talk about the ever interesting race in the American League East and what's happened today and presently. While we are going, I'm keeping an eye on the Red Sox Phillies game because that can definitely have some implications. Sox are up 7-6 going into the bottom of the 10th in that game. The Yankees in their game have committed 5 errors today, 4 or 5 errors. Boone and the Yankees pitching coach have both been ejected. That game has been interesting, but we'll dive into more of that later. Let's talk about Justin Verlander first. You know, I've got a regular at Mad Rocks, the place where I host karaoke at, and one of my regulars. He comes in about every other week like clockwork, and his name is Jason, but he looks just like Justin Verlander. So I call him Jason Verlander, and he's a baseball fan, so he gets the joke. But he's also old as fuck and shouldn't be pitching. So Justin Verlander last week in his last start, before today, we'll talk about today's start in a minute. In his last start, 2 innings and 2 outs in, gets in a disagreement with the umpire. The umpire tells him, "Why don't you try to get out of the 3rd inning?" and then ejects him. As the Giants fan, I figured I'd let you open the floor with this one today, Craig. How'd you feel about that one?
Once again, we have the men in blue being assholes. That comment that he made was totally unprofessional, out of place.
What's up, David? Thank you.
Call the balls and strikes and shut the fuck up.
What's up, Chase? No, and that's the thing that frustrates me because this just, I mean, this goes back to the Walker Buehler situation for me when he was coming back from the IL, and that some umpires are just looking for a fight. And unless the MLB is not just doing something about it, but being public about what's going on, then there's going to be continued distrust for the umpires. Like there is zero belief among baseball fans that umpires that the robo umps aren't needed. Like everybody sees the others be like, "Oh, we don't want to take the human element out of the game." But then they watch what happened in the All-Star game. All 4 of the challenges were overturned in the All-Star game.
If the human element is assholes, then yeah, definitely.
And
get rid of these assholes. Get rid of these assholes. Get rid of these assholes.
This is another reason why I think Major League Baseball needs a penalty line before the ejection, similar to a technical foul in the NBA or a personal foul in the NFL. Because personal foul, there's some yardage, you get a warning. If you have another one of that kind again, you get ejected. So I think that Major League Baseball needs to have something like that because this crap shouldn't happen. Nobody was there to see that ref.
Nope.
Nobody's there to see that ump. Nope. But they were definitely there to see Justin Verlander and by extension, Kate Upton. That is a bigger stain on the game than steroids, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because steroids at least helped baseball. Was it clean? No. Like, neither was my kitchen. Doesn't mean it's not a safe place to eat. As long as you wipe some shit down, because I don't want to. No, but like for me, it's how are we going to continue to have these issues in Major League Baseball and not institute a requirement for public punishment? Because otherwise it's just going to get worse. Like, people are going to be harassing umpires. And I don't, as much as I don't like umpires for the most part, I know a couple I know that are all right, but like as a whole, not a fan. I don't want their safety in jeopardy, but that's what's going to happen.
I think it's time to call for a day of striking against the blue, and don't show up for the games. All the fans stay home and strike against the blue, not against the players, not against the owners, but against the fucking umpires.
I think this has to be about the owners as well. And the reason why it is because the reason that there's less accountability, less public information about what happens with umpires is these owners accepting a collective bargaining agreement with the umpires union that these kind of things were either going to be swept under the rug or the punishment of these things is not going to be discussed publicly. You at least have to, because it is entirely possible that when the league saw that happen, that guy got pulled in, he got fined, he got suspended, something happened. It is entirely possible, but we don't know about it. And that makes it harder to trust the system that they're telling us we have to trust.
Good point. That's never going to happen.
Oh, it's not. Of course not. Absolutely not. I would be shocked to ever see something like that happen. But moving forward, we did see with Verlander today, actually, Justin Verlander got really quick update. Boston and Philly are now tied 7-7, bottom of the 10th, 2 outs, man on first.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was extras last night too. I think it's been extras each night. It's the series is insane. I still wish that we could trade for Christopher Sanchez because his arm is just ridiculous. Okay, so Verlander's pitching line today. Sorry, it finally came up for me. 5 innings, 1 hit, 5 walks, 3 Ks. He does get the win as the Giants beat the Braves 9-3. 17 starts before he gets his first win. Does that bother you at all?
I'm not going to pile on Justin Verlander. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's pitching some bad luck. And personally, I mean, I don't mean to denigrate the man. He's, like I said, a future Hall of Famer. But it is possible, just possible, that his arm has gone one more season longer than it should have.
I think that's a fair statement. I have a lot of respect for Verlander and his career, his contributions to baseball. And not just getting his hot girlfriend to baseball games. Like it's more than that. It's his talent, his ability to locate the speed behind his pitches. Like, he was great to watch on the mound when he was in his prime. I have mad respect for Justin Verlander. But this is I think you're right. This is a Drew Brees situation. His arm retired before he did.
Yeah.
And it sucks to watch. Like, there's decline in players, but when you have somebody with the focal point of a guy like, with the attention that you're going to get as a guy like Verlander, it's just you watch it more closely. And it's tough to watch because there's always going to be that recency bias in your memory. And you're going to have to sit back when they're going, oh, he's on the Hall of Fame ballot. He definitely wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer for me. And that's starting from what we're getting right now out of him, instead of thinking back to what he was like, especially in the mid 20 teens. Like, him and Baumgartner both owned baseball.
anybody that thinks that is not a very smart baseball fan.
I agree. He's a first ballot for me. I'm not saying unanimous, but he's a first ballot for me.
Yeah, I agree. Just throw this season away. I mean, it's an anomaly for him.
It's a farewell tour, if anything. It's just less formal because it didn't openly become that until we started to really see where he was at, 20, 30 games into the season. And by then it's already too late to really do anything about it. You just kind of have to write it out.
It's gone from less formal to more funeral.
Yeah. And that's why it sucks because he is such a talented dude. I mean, the number of playoff games that I watched when he was in his prime, where I was rooting against him, it was and just my hopes being dashed. Like if I had been able to sports bet back in his prime, he would have cost me a lot of money, and I would have a few choice words for him. But luckily, I couldn't sports bet then, so my money was blown on other things. Mad respect for him, but it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
The gauntlet that will be the National League for the playoffs. If the Giants can make it through, get a ring for him as he's on his way out, great. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that.
I don't either. Not even with the hot Rafael Devers. Whoa, was he hot?
Oh man, let's talk about my boy. That was going to be our next discussion.
Finally getting our money's worth with those 2 home runs today. His salary is now averaging out to a mere $46,666,000 and change per home run. So money again well spent.
I love you so much.
What a bargain.
He is like, and Devers is on the uptick. I would give you crap, but I know you're angry about it. My buddy Evan, who's a Giants fan, I legitimately give him crap about the performance of Devers. I actually posted a thing about Devers' batting average the other day in an MLB shit talking group. And today, after that 2 home run game, notification. Oh, now they can go back and talk shit because he had a 2 home run game. His first 2 home run game for the Giants, it took 32 games to get to 4 home runs.
Yeah.
It's I was talking to Evan about this and he said slow start. Slow starters never happen. And right, slow starters happen. I get that. But what about the fact that he started slow at the beginning of the season too? He went 0 for 20, 0 for 30, some was 0 for 25, something like that before he started getting going. And now all of a sudden he's going to start doing better because he's playing first? You mean after Boston gave him the option of it and he threw a temper tantrum? I'm trying to not swear because I'm going to be doing a live show soon, and it's a restaurant, so you can't exactly scream obscenities. So I'm trying to calm it down, and it's really difficult when I talk about that nutsack because he's so frustrating.
It's not Golden Corral?
It's not Golden Corral. I thought about it. Just be like, hey, just give me a couple of trips through the buffet. Make sure my Dr. Pepper's good. Bring me some soft serve after the show, and we'll just do it right in that room in the back, where all the big groups sit, and all 10 of my fans can take up 20 chairs. We're gonna talk, Craig. I'm a horrible fucking person. But no, it is
the
legitimately
people at Golden
good.
Corral are giving you 2 cheeks up, man.
I mean, I don't have to worry about it. I can just walk at a brisk pace and get away from them because they're not catching up to me. I'm not really that worried about it. I'll be okay. I'll just walk by a Weight Watchers building, so they have to cower in fear, and I'll be fine. That'll give me at least a 10-minute head start while they try to figure out how to get around it. So it'll be all right.
Food's good.
it's hard for me with Golden Corral, but because like that pot roast at Golden Corral, bro, like how one of the most moist
like
pot
butter,
roasts I've ever
like
eaten.
butter.
That meat falls apart like Jeffrey Dahmer's victims. It just crumbles, and it's flavor's fantastic. The gravy that comes with it is really good. So like I have to respect that.
Open call to anybody that owns a Golden Corral in either Northern California or in Kansas City. We're open for sponsorship.
Listen, you know what? Because my son likes to go to Golden Corral, but like because of cost, like we don't go a lot. Primarily because there's a Chinese restaurant, the Chinese buffet that opened here that's about the same cost. That like they have sushi, seafood throughout the buffet. You walk in, you do not smell seafood. They use fresh seafood on this buffet. And yes, it's like you end up paying like $35 a person, including the drink, but it's all fresh. And I'd rather,
Kansas City's finest sushi.
It's the sushi is actually really good. Like they do a great job in there. But at the same time, if they're like, hey, here's some vouchers, and be like, hey, I'm a slut for some pot roast. Like, let's go. I've done like those grilled jalapenos. Every once in a while, when I hate myself, I'll grab one, like cut the stem off, and just bite into it. Because every once in a while you just need to punish yourself. Like you did something, you may not know what it was, but you did something, so you just bite into an entire jalapeno and just ride the sweats and the pain.
Punishment. It's
I mean,
it's an S&M meal. It's an S&M meal right there.
Oh,
man, we're off the tracks tonight. Holy moly!
Oh, it's good God. Anyway, I'm happy to see him making progress, but it's a little frustrating that he couldn't come to an agreement with Red Sox staff. He took the slight of them bringing in Bregman because they tried to talk to him about it, and he wouldn't listen. What's up, Bando? He wouldn't listen. And then they had to stand their ground in training camp and make him accept the truth. And then when he gets the chance to play first, he was like, they were mean to me. Like, I hope he gets better. But at the same time, like, I dealt with rock stars that had billions of albums sold that weren't that much of a pain in the ass. Just saying. So as we move forward, let's talk about the villain of Major League Baseball. Well, they used to be the villain. Now they're just the guy that was the bully that just comes back to the high school dances just to look like a badass, even though he's not really anything anymore. We're talking about the New York Yankees. In the game against the Blue Jays today, looking at the box score, the Yankees had the same number of errors that they did runs, and they lost the game 8-4. You've seen the Yankees just completely backslide since that first series they lost to Boston. Not even the one that they got swept, the one that they just lost to Boston 2-1. Since then, the Yankees have not been the same baseball team. As this collapse continues, I saw some stuff today that they're linked to a trade with the D-backs for Eugenio Suarez, Merrill Kelly, and Jalen Beeks for 5 prospects, not the top 1 or 2, but 5 higher ranked prospects from their system. My question to you is, Craig, The
Mhm.
Yankees are kind of at a tipping point. If they do continue to collapse, because I'm not saying that they can't right the ship. There's a lot of talent on that team. If they continue to collapse, is more blame directed at Cashman, the GM who constructed this roster, or Aaron Boone, who's been coaching this team? Where does more of the blame lie in this situation to you?
Or C, the players.
Or C? Yes and no. Okay. So why is it okay? So you're leaning towards the players, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? So let's start with that. Why do you lean towards the players in that?
Well, Cashman's not on the field. The manager's not on the field. The players are out there playing. They're playing they got a lot of money tied up with that team, and they're not getting their money's worth. That's for sure. If someone's got to go, it won't be Cashman. It'll be
Boone.
It'll be the manager.
It's for me. Like I can understand to a point because but at the same time, fielding errors have been a problem for the Yankees for a couple of years now. Like this isn't a new problem for the Yankees. That's why they lost the World Series.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And the help of like Eugenio Suarez in the hot corner, I think is a definite improvement over. I think they had LeMahieu over there.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember who it was. But obviously he got DFA. So like who did they play third today? Oswaldo Peraza, who is not Oswald Peraza. Yeah, that's who's been over there. And he is not great. Like he's hitting 147, well below league average. They need Eugenio Suarez. But when you look at Peraza, and I'm a big fan, by the way. I just want to say Baseball Reference is probably one of my favorite websites. I'm definitely at the age where I look at more Baseball Reference sites than I do porn. Like that's just where it's at for me. And Baseball Reference is a true leader in baseball statistics because you can see certain stuff like you can see not just the errors that they made, like for 2025, Oswaldo Peraza is at 6, 7, 8, 9 errors by himself. There are teams, or there are entire infields in Major League Baseball that do not have 9 errors.
Yep.
And this is something that frustrates me for the Red Sox because the Red Sox lead the league in errors. So it's not like I'm talking from a supreme place of judgment, but if the Yankees weren't making errors at a rate that is very similar to the Red Sox, the Yankees would still own the division. There wouldn't be any question who was going to the World Series right now for the American League. But the race is dead tight. How do you? I mean, so you're saying the players. Like for me, the reason why I question that is coaching matters. We've seen players that were getting coaching that was not for them go to a team where the coaching was more what they needed, and they turned into an MVP, an all-star, a top-tier player. Across every sport, this happens.
True.
So how, I mean, Aaron Judge, at one point this year, I don't know where he's at right now, but at one point this year, he was hitting 360. So their hitting coach was doing okay. Obviously, Aaron Judge has some talent, but then we see other guys like Peraza hitting 147. LeMahieu was hitting below the Mendoza line as well. Like, there's other examples of Yankees players that just aren't hitting at the clip that they are needed to. League average is around 230. Ben Rice hitting 232. That's great. Getting a little bit out of Trent Grisham, 255. Jazz Chisholm Jr., who should be your leading contact hitter, hitting 247. Volpe's hitting 214, and that's your shortstop. You should be getting at least 275 out of him. Escateri, your catcher, 205. Austin Wells, the other catcher, I know he's not even hitting over 200. There's a lot of batting struggles on that team.
There's a time when if you were hitting under 230, you were on your way by bus back to the minor leagues. I mean, then we're not going to keep you on a major league roster hitting 230. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
And that's what's crazy, because I was talking with Dan about this earlier, because I was talking about Suarez, and because he's hitting, like, Suarez is doing really well as far as the long ball is concerned, but he's only hitting 250. And he said, he was talking to me about, well, the league average is 230, so he's still doing above average. That's great. But the Yankees' history has proven that you can't build a roster around guys like Eugenio Suarez and Aaron Judge that are long ball hitters solely. Your contact hitters have to be doing their job. And they're not getting that. So they're relying too much on the long ball. And that's not going to work in October baseball.
No.
So, and so that's what Dan and I were talking about. And, talking about that 230 that the league averages. And I think that's crazy, because realistically, if you're a team, you want your guys in 1 through 6. As long as everybody's going the way that they should, 1 through 6 at least should be north of 250.
Yeah.
And then 7, 8, and 9. If you want to have a couple, like you got a catcher hitting 226, like that's not uncommon. A lot of catchers can't hit. Not everybody's, big dumper. And not everybody's Mike Piazza, and every Bench or Rose or whatever. Like it's. Sorry, I know Rose wasn't a catcher. Just
Bench.
But Bench was a catcher.
Yes.
But not everybody's like that. Not everybody's like Jason Varitek. So you can have some of those ones there, but what you should have 1 through 6, 260, 265 in it. Because that's you need consistent offense. You need guys that are going to get the ball in play. Even if a couple of those guys are power hitters that are hitting on the lower end of that spectrum, that's fine. But you need to have contact guys that are actually consistently hitting. You should, what happened to guys like Tony Gwynn? Contact guy hitting north of 300 consistently in the middle of your lineup just to keep the bases clear.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't hide that catcher in that hitter's lineup right now. You can't hide him because everybody's looking to be hit. You can't hide everybody.
No, and that's the problem. Is like one of the things that I think is working to Boston's benefit is Carlos Narvaez has been doing a really good job, and I think that I personally believe that the Yankees, kind of like with Garrett Whitlock, are going to regret not getting him into their system sooner and getting him onto the field as in pinstripe sooner. Because if they have Carlos Narvaez right now, instead of relying on Austin Wells and Escara, JC Escara, if they could, like, Wells is the backup, Narvaez was starting, they would think they'd at least be in a slightly better position, because that's a lot of hits that you're getting back, and the Yankees have had a lot of close games.
Yeah, they have.
So it's the Yankee. For me, though, and the reason that I lean towards Brian Cashman, as far as who I blame with the Yankees right now. First of all, you can't look me in the eye and look at this roster and think that this is an actual contending roster. Even if we look at how good they were supposed to be on paper without all the injuries, this was not a World Series contending roster.
Agreed.
It's also his job to make sure that the fielding, hitting, and pitching coaches are doing their job. At various points throughout this year, they have struggled with at least one, but sometimes, especially in their current bout, all three. And he's not fixing it. I'm not saying he's not doing anything, because he could very well be working behind the scenes trying to figure stuff out, but he's not fixing it. His solutions aren't working. And ultimately, in that scenario, especially because when you look at the roster construction, like, it's not what it should be.
Here's a question for you. The Yankees checkbook, are they holding on that pretty tight these days, or will they write some checks?
I think they're going to have to write some checks soon. I think that you've gone, you're You're closer to a 20-year drought of no World Series champion wins than you are 10. Because yes, they were there last year, but the last time they won was 2009. We're at 16 years since they won a World Series. And that's not Yankee baseball. I understand that as a Red Sox fan. The standard is higher in New York than it is in most markets. And that's not Yankee baseball.
Yep.
And like what David said, they've gone off the rails and won't be able to hold a wild card lead unless they do something drastic. They need to do something big because this team is not it. I completely agree. I hope for the sake of the Yankees that the trade for Suarez, Merrill Kelly, and Jalen Beeks is true. Because that is a huge boon for the Yankees. But if their coaching doesn't find a way to stop these fielding errors, Boston wins off of other teams' mistakes. Tampa will beat you off of your own mistakes. Seattle will beat you off of your own mistakes. Houston will. Like all of these teams, that's what they're designed to do. Because there's so much parity in the league now, especially in the American League.
Yep.
That's where you win your games more often than not. So they got to figure it out, because if these errors keep flowing, they're going to get, they could end up in a situation that's crazy. Could you imagine the Yankees after the start they had not making the playoffs?
That would be very ugly. I feel bad. I feel bad for the fans. I mean,
it's
ravenous.
For sure.
They're obnoxious, and they're passionate, and they love their Yankees. This is not Yankee baseball. It's
not. It's really not. As much as I like to make jokes about Yankees fans, because I'm a Sox fan, it's my moral obligation to harass.
Absolutely.
Red Sox are up on the Phillies at 9-7 in the bottom of the 11th. 2 outs. Somebody is on third. The standard is higher in New York. And that's so for Yankees fans, I get feeling frustrated, especially with how much of a backsliding this is. And the fact that there is an outside chance that you could backslide far enough to not even make the playoffs.
And they've got a future Hall of Famer playing for him right now. And
you got a couple.
And it's a shame that nothing they're being wasted, but there definitely is a lot of room for improvement.
It shocks me especially because of some of the leadership that's on that team, like Judge, like Paul Goldschmidt, to name a couple. How has there not been a more concerted effort with results? Because I'm not saying there hasn't been. I'm just saying that there haven't been results to resolve some of these issues. Like, these guys know they have a problem with fielding. You can't tell me they don't. They know that their bottom 5 to 6 hitters are all hitting, at the league average, which you should be well above that, especially if you're a Yankee, or below. I
don't see. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You talk about Judge and crap, Goldie. They don't strike me as head knockers in the clubhouse.
Goldie used to be. When he was in Arizona and St. Louis, he was.
Yeah, well, he's in a new team now, and so I don't know, but I mean, they need a Billy Martin type head knocker, in that clubhouse, and I don't see it. I know, of course, I'm not in there anymore, but I mean, I don't see it. I don't see Aaron Judge doing that. I don't see Goldschmidt doing that.
I think if I'm the Yankees, my hope would be that Suarez will do it, because he has that kind of asshole streak about him. Like, he really does. Like, and I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. He's just, when it comes to playing, he's a shark. It's one of the reasons why he has the reputation he does, and he's a desirable player at the trade deadline. And if you can get Suarez to kind of light a fire under him, that's positive. Merrill Kelly wants a true shot at a ring. So he's going to have a fire under him, because he's been stuck in Arizona with disappointing season, except for the year that they went to the World Series against the Rangers. He wants out of there. So he's going to be very motivated. So if that trade happens, that could be the fire that the Yankees need. And I hope for their sake it is. And I hope for baseball's sake it is, because I may not be a Yankees fan, but when the Yankees are involved in the postseason and the Yankees are in contention in September and October, baseball is just better.
All's right with the world. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like when the Cubs are in it, when the Yankees, when the Sox are in it, like there's just these certain teams that baseball feels better when they're in it. And so I hope they do, because otherwise that would have to be like, if they get to that point, literally, like if they were to, in the outside chance they don't make the playoffs, is that the worst collapse from a team you've seen?
Yeah, in the 2000s, yes. Yeah.
Can you remember any other collapses like that, even back when you were covering?
Oh my God, there was the Phillies in the 60s. They lost was it 37 games, something like that,
in a row?
My brain is not it's foggy on that, but I mean but yeah, there's been some collapses, but that Yankees, the modern day Yankees, yeah, that'd be a terrible collapse.
It really would. Like I said, I'm not wishing for it. Like I said, it's better for baseball when they're going, but at the same time, man, they got to figure some shit out, because it's getting old watching the same mistakes, man.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, go ahead.
It's no fun rooting against them when they're not playing good, you know.
Exactly. It's more fun to be able to give them a hard time when it's a competition. Like, it's the same reason why the Chiefs fans don't worry about the Raiders as much anymore. The fun's worn off. Like it's because it's the big brother always beating the little brother, except for very limited exceptions.
Yep.
It's why, and so I hope that they can recover. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, man. Like, they do not look great. All right, quick update. Bottom of the 11th. Red Sox are up on the Phillies 9-8. So there's definitely some action there. Let me see if I can pull up this game cast. Where are we at? Come on. Do something I haven't done in a while and just call the damn game. Come on. Let me see. I want to see what's going on. Don't be a jerk. Okay, 0-2 count. Kepler's at the plate. Oh, that bodes well. Bernardino's on the mound. Count is 0-2. Somebody's on first. So this is it. This is do or die, yo. Bernardino pitches, and he's out. Game's over. Red Sox just beat the Phillies 9-8. So that's my attempt at calling a game.
Nicely done.
Oh man, I want to be Kevin Harlan when I grow up. I'm calling both games. Still one of the greatest moments of TV and watching football that I've ever seen from an announcer. Like, that was just amazing. Okay. And then where are we at? 40 minutes. That is excessive. No, I'm kidding. Where'd it go? Did I? Oh, that's last week. We already talked about that crap. Okay. Well, okay. When you think about the deadline, Now I know what we're talking about. When you think about the deadline coming up next week, July 31st, I believe it's 4 p.m. Eastern. First of which, by the way, a couple of announcements real quick before we talk about the trade deadline. Number one, next week we will have a guest, somebody that Craig and I have been wanting to work with for a while that will finally be joining us, mainly because I actually asked him. Greg Rawlings from the We Don't Know Sports podcast. Great show. They talk a lot of sports history. Those guys are hilarious. They are Greg will be joining us to talk baseball next week, and on Wednesday, with the last night leading up to the deadline, my hope is that we have a couple of big trades drop while we're live so that we can all live react to it. And then the next day on the trade deadline, for the last 2.5, maybe 3 hours before that ends, I'm not working on Thursday next week. No, I didn't take it off. I'm not that kind of baseball nerd. I would have, but I didn't have to because I work on Saturday, and so the replacement day is next Thursday. But I will be live on TikTok talking about trades, talking about what's going on. If you haven't followed me yet on TikTok, you definitely should. Morning minutes every day, other stuff whenever I feel like it. And that's at FGD7 spelled out, FGDSEVEN on TikTok. Definitely check it out. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be fun. If you get time, if you're not doing anything, you should pop in and jump in on my live.
I will probably have to work because I have to work.
That is selfish, sir. Just so you know, that's very selfish.
I know my priorities are not what they should be. I apologize.
Yeah, they really are. This is the real reason I haven't sent you the shirt yet, not because I keep forgetting to go to the post office. But for those of you who are wondering, I've been working with Alex, our webmaster, on getting the shirt updated on the website so that actually the proper logo. I had to make some changes today and go into my the actual design.com where I designed that logo. And I had to pay so I could get back in and mess with the design and fix it for a problem that he was having. And hopefully that solves it. And by the end of the week, we should have proper shirts on our website. $25 a piece to be able to
air shirt so I can PSA it.
I will get it. I will get it to you when I remember. But we are definitely on the road with that. Now let's talk deadline. I talked a lot tonight, so I want to start with you. When you think about the Giants, what are some of the big pieces that they need to be looking for?
They need another hitter and they need another pitcher. Their bullpen's fine. They leave the bullpen alone, but they need another starting pitcher. Maybe a number 4, maybe a 3, but definitely I'd go with a 4 in rotation and another hitter.
Okay.
I don't care which position he takes over, just another hitter.
Okay, because that was going to be my next question. You really don't want to move off of Patrick Bailey. He's just a down season.
No,
I'm not as worried about him. No. Maybe, you could look at replacing Casey Schmidt. Ketel Marte in Arizona.
Yeah.
I think Ketel wants to get out of Arizona bad.
Yep.
Maybe you look at, is it time to move off of Yaz in right? Maybe look for another right fielder that can hit.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Either Yaz or Schmidt is what I'm thinking. Probably leaning towards more Yaz.
That's reasonable. Thankfully, I know for a fact that the Red Sox won't pick him up. As much as I appreciate the name and whose grandfather was, I really, obviously a Sox fan. I've never been impressed watching him play. Like, he'll have flashes of good moments, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to hold him to the same standard as Carl, but he's just not anything super special when you compare him to his peers.
He's had better seasons, no question about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's what I'm looking for, a number 3 or number 4 starting pitcher, and leave the bullpen alone and pick up one more hitter, and either for Schmidt or for Yastrzemski, and then I think we'll be okay.
So, as far as the pitcher is concerned, there's been a lot of conversations around Sandy Alcantara of the Marlins and the other one, Charlie Morton, who's currently with the Orioles. Those are both teams that are going to be moving players at the deadline.
Yeah. I prefer Sandy over Morton.
You think you take Sandy as like your number 4 guy?
That would, yeah. In a heartbeat.
Yeah. And then, like I said, somebody needs to get Ketel Marte out of that city. So I love if you guys could get a trade on to get him, especially because Alcantara, I think Alcantara and Charlie Martin are both going to be lower priced just because of their age. There's not a lot of club control left with either one of them, which they're both like 40, 41. So you really don't want them for that long anyway. No. So you can smaller amount of assets to trade for them, one of those two, and then you can turn around and dump more into getting Ketel Marte out of Arizona, which it's not going to be cheap reasons. So that gets him to a place that's going to be much more accepting than what he's been dealing with. And I think that he does well at McCovey Cove anyway. So it's worth it.
I could live with him.
Yeah, it's worth it. For this Red Sox, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea of Chris Bubich to Phoenix. Chris Bubich to Boston, and a package going back includes Jarren Duran. As much as I don't want to lose Jarren Duran, this is my favorite player. First of all, he'd actually be closer to me more often, so I go see him anytime I want. And, we've already agreed there's nothing wrong with being a fan of a player, not just, fan of a team.
Right.
But also, Boston needs a number 2 pitcher. I don't think Seth Logo is a number 2. I think he's another number 3, and that's what Lucas Giolito is. Chris Bubich is a solid number 2. His ERA is south of 2.5, or it's right around 2.5, maybe 2.5, 2.6, somewhere in there. Few years left on his deal. So even though you're giving up a big piece in Duran, they need a left fielder. They need a left fielder. And if they get rid of Bubich, they can finally call Noah Cameron up and leave him up as he should. And that works out for everybody.
I like it.
So I as much as I don't want to lose Jarren Duran, I think it's for me, it makes the most sense. I don't want Alcantara or Charlie Morton primarily because they're older and we need a number 2 guy that's not going anywhere. Because Giolito and Crochet aren't going anywhere. We need to fill that spot with somebody who's going to stick around. That's why I like Bubich. I'm less impressed with Lugo, but I don't like him. I don't like that idea. It would be great if we could trade for Philly for Christopher Sanchez. I've been making that joke a lot in the Wire to Wire host chat because there's a couple of Philly fans. And for some reason, they get mad when I suggest it. I think it would be a good trade.
I'm shocked.
Like
shocked.
Pourquoi? Like I don't get it. But I realistically, I know that's not going to happen. But I like Chris Bubich. I like. Seth Lugo is okay, but yeah, I'm in my perfect trade. We're getting Bubich. Durant comes to Kansas City. I'll go up and teach him. I'll go up and show him some barbecue spots. Get him hunting. Show him the right way you're supposed to use a gun.
Take the Golden Corral.
Oh man, no, just man. He once he discovers Gates Barbecue, he's not even gonna know Golden Corral exists. You walk into Gates you walk into Gates to Kansas City, and you'll never. It's going to make it hard to enjoy other people's barbecue. I'll tell you that. Like there's one that's here in Wichita called Hog Wild, and they've won national competitions as well. And I will walk in there, and it's you want to get a good sized plate, you can. It's less than $20 for a plate and a drink. And dang, I'm never going to be a skinny man. I'll tell you that. But yeah, no, I like Duran for Bubich. Benefits both sides. Jaren gets to be in an area, and especially like the other reason for Jaren, obviously his mental health has been a big topic around baseball, especially. But if you haven't watched it, The Clubhouse on Netflix follows the 2024 Red Sox.
Really
amazing
good.
series. It's really good.
Yeah.
But with the conversations around his mental health, a more rural environment where he can be out in the country and get away from the noise when he's not playing ball, like I think that would be great for him.
Yeah.
Like just legitimately from a mental health thing. Like my mental health is always better back in the Midwest because it's quieter. There's, the Kansas City media. There's a couple of members of the Kansas City sports media that are just dicks, but they cover the Chiefs mostly, so you don't have to worry about them too often. And so he's not going to have the same pressure. And I think it puts him into a position where he's able to fly free and we get to see some of that energy and that swagger back. So yeah, I really like it for Jarren Duran too. Not just the fact that it fills a need the Royals has, and obviously for the Red Sox as well with Bubich. It's better for him, better environment, less stressful. See, I'm thinking about somebody other than myself, Craig.
Yes, you are. You're a giver.
I am trying. I am a selfless lover. I'm trying to be a selfless baseball fan. It's very difficult because I just want mine, but I understand it's not always about me, and that's a giver, very difficult thing. I'm a giver. I am an absolute giver, not just of STDs. All about love for sure. All right, we are getting closer to that 1 hour mark. Oh yeah, Bert, he didn't have a great game yesterday, but Lucas Giolito looks great. Like I'm a little irritated we didn't get to use him last year, but he looks really good. I think as he gets closer to postseason, he's going to be dialed in. Crochet's going to be dialed in. This is why I need number 2. This is why you need number 2 in Boston. And that's where Chris Bubich comes into play. You put him in that rotation. You can put Fitz at 4. And even if you just run a 4-man, have Garrett Whitlock start on your days because he can go 3 without collapsing. You're fine if you're Boston, honestly. Those guys, they want to go. So I don't even think you could go a 4-man rotation if you're Boston. You really could.
Well, the playoffs you do anyhow, so
Yeah, I would say most everybody does anyway. So get used to it now. You're already in the swing of things.
Yeah.
And that gives you the ability to pull back and put somebody in your bullpen. Maybe you don't have to rely on Jordan Hicks quite as much because his accuracy is kind of like Helen Keller to shooting range. No, today he had 100-mile-an-hour pitch fly over both the catcher and the umpire and hit the backstop. And I'm pretty sure it left a dent in the Phillies' backstop. That's how hard he threw this ball.
He just is keeping the umpire, the catcher, the hitter, the concession guy all honest.
That man, I will say the guy that was behind the plate today for the Boston Phillies game, he took a foul ball, like it came off the bat and just square in the face on his mask. I've taken those as a catcher. So being able to be a little bit farther backward as time to pick up some speed, that's not a great feeling.
It's like balls to the face. Tyson.
Yeah. Balls to the face are not as fun as you might think they are. I'm just saying.
Oh, you're on fire today.
Man, I am on some bullshit. That's what's going on. But I like Giolito. I really do. I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay good. He's going to, be relatively consistent. Everybody has bad games. Oh, dude, did you see that Pittsburgh beat Detroit today? What's going on with Detroit?
They're declining at the wrong time.
They are 1-9 in their last 10.
Yeah, it's like, ouch. What the heck?
They went from having the best record in baseball for over a month.
Yeah.
To they are right there with the Astros and the Blue Jays. The Brewers actually have a better record than them right now. Brewers have the best record in baseball right now, which is absolutely insane.
They're keeping really bad company right now.
It's the Dodgers have not had the season that they should. Like, I think the National League is a little bit more open for the wild card than people think it is.
It is.
Because I mean, like, Giants are only a game and a half back. The Cubs and the Phillies, like, they're starting to flounder a little bit too. I think that it's the National League is going to be a lot closer than people think it is, man. I really do.
I do too. Yeah.
But the AFC, the AL, the American League, the AL East, and the American League as a whole for the wild card is just a complete free for all right now. It's some say it's parity, some say the National League has more talent. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Oh man, I used to be totally biased and say the National League had the best talent, but I don't know right now. I mean, it could be even.
There is a lot of talent in the National League. Like, I'm not saying there's not a lot of talent. I just don't know that it's that top heavy.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's a good term. Yeah, it's not top heavy. I agree.
It's because, I mean, look at the talent that you've got when you look in the American League. Toronto has a lot of talent. New York has a lot of talent. Boston has a lot of talent. Detroit has a lot of talent. The Rangers, talented team.
Yep.
The Rays, talented team. Guardians, not out of it, talented team. The Royals really aren't that far behind. They're less than 5 games back. In the American League, that's not a super big reach.
No.
So, like, it's I think there's just that much talent in the American League. I would say the National League may be a little top heavy, but overall there's more talent in the American League. I feel like just the level is just higher, even if there's a few more top guys in the National League. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
No, I agree.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Everybody, remember, follow me on TikTok at FGG7 Morning Minute every day. We will be back next week. Erika hopefully will be this. Oh, before I forget, the AUSL Championship is this weekend. Go to the AUSL website to get more information on times in your area. Those women are so good. Seriously, give it support. It deserves it. I watched one of the games this weekend. The Bolts were struggling, but it was a good game. Like it was good play. And I don't think that they've gotten enough credit for that because there's a lot of talent with those teams. We will be here with Greg Rawlings next week. And then day of the deadline. Man, maybe I'll get like a Day of the Dead shirt. I don't know. I might find one on Amazon in time. Day of the deadline. I will be live on TikTok talking about the deals as they get announced. I'm going to have notifications on every device for Jeff Passan and John Heyman ready to go. Mainly because every year John Heyman always says something stupid. And I cannot wait to see what this year's is because it's not really trade deadline without Heyman saying something dumb in a tweet. So I can't wait to see it. Like I really can. But we'll be here. Don't forget to please like, share. We appreciate Wire to Wire Network for giving us the ability to continue to do what we do and have some fun with it, giving us the freedom to do what we do. Definitely check out all of their shows as we close out tonight. I am going to play a little video that has a little bit of all of the Wire to Wire shows. And then we will end our evening. For my friend Craig Newton, I am 7. We'll see you next
I have
week.
an idea. Oh yeah, I have a name for a barbecue place.
What's that?
Dickie Do's Barbecue.
There is already a Dickie's barbecue in Arizona.
But not a Dickie Do's.
Not Dickie Do's. Right. You just got to make sure you design logos different so there's no brand infringement. But I think you'll be all right.
Yeah.
But all right. Okay. For those of you that are watching still, thank you. We appreciate you. We will see you next week right here on Podcast Name Deferred. Have a good night.
Good night.